Vucevic for three. Tight game down the stretch. Jalen Brunson only 4 points after halftime, but he ties it at 104. Vucevic a sizable advantage over Mikal Bridges, and Bridges with the block. We're going to talk to Mikal in a couple of moments. Cat, 6 points in the OT, 32 in the game, and the Knicks now 10-2 in their last 12. Prevail over Chicago in overtime, 113-111. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you with us. Bill Pito along with Wally Zerbiak, who helped call the game tonight on the radio on ESPN New York. What do you think from your vantage point?
Wow, that was a close call. Knicks did not play very well tonight, but they found a way to get a win. That's what it's all about. The first game after the break is tough. You're out of rhythm, your timing's off, you're a little bit rusty, and the Knicks showed it for sure in that first quarter, that first half. But then they started to find things. Karl Towns took advantage of his mismatch, took over the game in the second half. Jalen Brunson made some big shots. What a block by Mikal Bridges. The most key stat to me on this stat sheet is Mikal Bridges had 10 rebounds. With no Josh Hart out there on the floor, someone else needed to step up and rebound the basketball, and that was a good job by Mikal Bridges getting 10 boards, double-digit boards.
All right, so as you mentioned, no Josh Hart, day-to-day sore knee, misses his second game of the season. No OG Anunoby, misses his sixth straight game with a sore foot. First time the Knicks have been down 2 starters in any game this year, and they were able to prevail. How'd they do it?
Well, the fourth quarter was big. Josh Giddey likes playing here at the world's most famous arena. He put up a pretty impressive performance with a season high. I think Deuce McBride was one of the big reasons. In that fourth quarter, he made big shots. He had his season high. There you go on cue. And they were tough, well-defended shots, too. He was making them from all over the place. But Josh Giddey, part of 19 threes for the Chicago Bulls. They shot 40% from the three-point line. The Knicks had to match the Bulls as far as shot making, and Deuce McBride was the guy that did it. Shot 9 for 19 from the field, but there's more. Josh Giddey, not known as a three-point shooter at all, has struggled mightily since coming to the Bulls in a Bulls uniform. They've cleared out the roster, though, and they've said, you're our guy. This shot was unbelievable. With 3 seconds left in the shot clock, the Knicks defended it pretty well. I thought the Knicks were in trouble after that one, but then there goes that man, Jalen Brunson, Mr. Clutch, down 2, knocks down the big shot to tie the game. And then this play, the Knicks went small. They switched everything. It led to Bridges on Vucevic, which is a big mismatch. He caught the ball 2 feet from the basket. How does Nikola Vucevic not dunk that ball and overpower Mikal Bridges? He has a size advantage, a strength advantage, and a weight advantage, but the long arms of the law, baby. Go Gadget arms gets the big block. What a game-saving block by Mikal Bridges, and then the Knicks found a way to eke it out in overtime.
The long arms of the law?
That's right. Long arms, man. Use them.
New terminology. I don't know anything about long arms sitting like this.
The law. You're not getting buckets in the world's most famous arena. The law is no wins for the Bulls here at the Garden. Not tonight.
So Karl Towns, 2 of 15 shooting in the first half, goes for 20 points in the third quarter. Doesn't score in the fourth quarter, scores 6 of the Knicks' 9 points in OT.
Yeah, and this was a tough one on a busted play that looked like it was going nowhere. That's just a great player making something out of nothing. And I love the pick and roll action at the end of the game between Brunson and Karl Towns. That play is indefensible. You cannot guard it when those two guys are running it. Knicks were up 5. I said on the radio, don't give up a 3. They give up a 3.
They didn't listen to you.
They didn't. Now it's a 2-point game. This was an outstanding possession. With the lineup that Tom Thibodeau put out there, they could switch everything, and the Bulls could not get a good look at the basket. They barely got that shot off. That was the defensive lineup that Tom Thibodeau wanted out there on the floor, and they executed perfectly on that final possession.
Look at all the three-point attempts. Chicago attempts 43 per game, second most in the league. Tonight they go for 48. You see the rest of the numbers.
Knicks shot 46.
Yeah, that's a huge number. Here now with Mikal Bridges. Mikal, congrats on the win. Tell us about the sequence. Tied up final seconds. You're going up against Nikola Vucevic. He's got position on you down low. You're much smaller than him, obviously, and you're able to block the shot to force overtime. How'd you do it?
Just try to be aggressive and not try to foul him, not try to let him score. I think he helped me out by using his right hand, so just try not to lose.
You had a season-high 10 rebounds. Were you trying to focus on that because Anunoby and Josh Hart both out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every game I tried to, and, the results aren't always there. But today, just crashing on both sides, just trying to figure it out.
So tomorrow night you're at Cleveland, Sunday night or Sunday afternoon you're at Boston. What's your approach and thought about going into these 2 key games?
Just starts with Cleveland, not worry about Boston right now. Our next game's Cleveland, and then we worry about the next game after that.
Mikal, congrats. Great play, great playing, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
All right, Wally. Mikal Bridges with the key block, and he's already done that. Remember that block against the Nets earlier in the season?
That was a big play. He's known for his defense. That's why the Knicks went out and got him. He makes winning plays. That was well-executed play. Lonzo Ball's a smart inbound passer. Perfect pass to Vucevic. Vucevic had 2 seconds to just he took his time, I think, a little bit too much. He didn't realize how long Mikal Bridges' arms are, because normally when Vucevic catches the ball down there and he gives a little bit of a shoulder, he uses his wide shoulders to seal his defender and make that shot. But I think he was a little bit worried about missing it by shooting a little bit of a hook, and as a result, he shot a layup instead of a little half hook, and that gave Bridges the time and the space to eat that space up and get that block. That was a huge play.
Bridges, in the interview, mentioned that it was really fortunate that Vucevic went to his right, because that's where Bridges was. If Vucevic goes the other way, Bridges probably doesn't have a chance.
Well, Bridges also did a good job of knowing that he's a right-handed player, and his comfort level is to shoot over your left shoulder. So, and he didn't have much time also. So it was just an outstanding defensive play by Bridges in every way, shape, or form. That's why he's known as one of the best defenders in the league.
All right, Alan, I want to ask you about Deuce McBride. Wally mentioned him, season-high 23 points. When he starts now, it's his first start of the year, but in his career as a starter with the Knicks, he's averaging 15 a game, and tonight he went for a season-high 23.
Yeah, next man up mentality. But first and foremost, Pito, long arm of the law, that's one of the oldest cliches in the book. Wally's giving you easy stuff here. You never heard that one before?
No, I said it didn't apply to me. Didn't apply to me. I don't have a short.
What about go-go gadget arm?
It applies, man. It applies. It certainly does.
Hey, when you're 5'7", long arms don't apply.
Anyways, for Deuce McBride, what you had was a little bit of everything. And, of course, next man up mentality, and he's certainly ready to go when you need him in a moment's notice. And he can knock down shots, which we saw early on in this game. The three-point shot, he had his legs under him, so the break was good for him. I loved his defense. He got you 3 steals and 3 blocks at 6 stocks, fellas. We love that stat. And that's him just getting after it at both ends. But I thought he played with good pace and speed, and he made the shots that he normally makes. And it's a guy, again, that always stays ready. He's been really good off the bench, and they needed him to start tonight. And he was really good in that role as well. And when I asked him about, like, the stretch now, this is post-All-Star break. Every game matters. Every game counts. Every single win now is going to matter to where you finish in the standings and who you play in the first round. You know you need everybody, and this was a test of the depth tonight. And with McBride in the starting lineup, he showed you that whatever you need from him on a given night, he certainly can give it to you.
Alan, how about Karl Towns? Starts the game 1 for 10.
Yeah.
Can't hit anything. And ends up, 14 for 30 and gets to 32 points. That is impressive stuff by the Knicks big man, isn't it?
Had 20 in the third quarter. After a tough first half, some guys may get a little rattled, a little frustrated, whatever it was. All Karl Towns did was say, all right, less threes and more getting into the paint. And that's exactly what he did in that third quarter. He got into the painted area, and he just started attacking. And, Vucevic is a guy that gives you trouble on the offensive end at times, but defensively, you got to get his feet moving, because we know, as I like to say, he moves at a glacial pace. So you want to get him moving, and that's what Towns did. And they also got him into action. And Wally, you mentioned it. We saw a lot of two-man game with Karl Towns and Jalen Brunson. They were trapping Brunson a ton with 2 guards and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, when they got into the 2-man, you couldn't trap him with Vucevic, so you had to play it straight up. And they really got a lot of good buckets and good rhythm off those two playing together. But that's what you expect from Karl Towns. The one thing I've really loved about him this season, Wally, is that here's a guy that if he's having a rough start to a game, it does not affect him mentally. He just finds a way to get into rhythm, and all of a sudden you look up and he has 32 and 15.
He wasn't shooting well, as you guys talked about in the first half, but he grabbed a ton of boards.
Yeah.
And for the game, Cat had 18 rebounds to go with the 32 points.